I was referred to the Phoenix Center. My husband passed away this summer because he passed away on the 4th of July, and the school year was starting, and they tend to function on a school year with some summer activities, but we were kind of getting right into a school year. And, Salida wants a good time. When do you want to come? And we both have, we all have crazy schedules. It's probably good if the boys have a tour before the first night. Okay. I told the boys a little bit about it, and I said, I think this is going to help all of us, but we don't know. So why don't we go take a walk, go stroll through it? Okay, Mom. We went, we toured it. I remember walking in, and, there's a desk, so it, someone can greet you, but then there's this bookcase. Every age-appropriate story about loss or grief, how does a dinosaur deal with grief, or whatever it was, I was like amazed. Then I remember looking in the littles room, which is where my youngest would have went, and here's all these fluffy pillows in a circle, stuffed animals, and just lighthearted, not preschool, because that's really little, but warm and cozy. And then there was some family rooms. So the family rooms, my understanding was it was designed, let's say there's a week where they didn't want to split off. Well, the three of us had a room where perhaps we could have went. Okay. Or sometimes, an adult has to stay on premises with your child. If the adult wasn't feeling it and they didn't want to go into the adult session, they had a place to be. And then we walked, and then the teen room was very, the middles. It wasn't the teen room. It was the middles. He wasn't a teen yet. But there was like couches, like chill. And the decor on the rooms was just, it was so crazy appropriate. And then we walked in the back, and there was basketball and some foosball and games and toys. And then they took us around the corner and showed us the volcano room. And the volcano room is for all of them. And if they're just having a bad day, there is a standing punching bag, headgear, and gloves. And the kids can't go in alone. They have to have it, there's some guidelines. And then there's a snack area. They always close out with snacks. And then we made the big horseshoe U back to the other side of the building. And there was the adult room where I sat with many great folks that I met. And we all had different losses. There's differences in dealing with grief. I don't want to learn about it all and read everybody else's sad stories and try to relate and then make something that's kid appropriate. And you know what? All this stuff's already out there. This program is phenomenal. It was mirrored off of another very successful program. And they tell you about the history. They tell you where it came from. It wasn't somebody who was out in a garage one day and just threw a curriculum together. And it's successful, and it works. And there are kids in the very, very, very early stages of grief. Like, it's raw. I can't even breathe, and I can't even say a word. And then, like Troy said, after time, he felt like, this was another little group. It wasn't football. It wasn't his Sunday school and church, but it was his Phoenix Center people. And we see them out in the community now sometimes, and they all still know each other. The memory activities that they do are amazing. I remember, I said it went on a school year. My most vivid memory, and it was just phenomenal, was the closing of the first season that we went. It was a family activity. All three of us got paper, and we wrote Daddy Brian a letter. Fine, I've understood that. And we had this huge fire pit, and everybody was around, and you take your letter and you put it in the fire, and then when the smoke goes up, it's going to heaven so that he can get your letter. And those things are very powerful for both the adults and the kids. The Phoenix Center to me was a place that provided a service as a parent that I was completely not capable of managing at that time. When, as a parent, whether your child is, broke a finger or just sad, that helplessness feeling is, it's enormous. So when my husband had passed away, not only was I dealing with everything that I had to deal with, I had no idea how to separate and be a mom in that moment and relate with the boys on whatever grief they were going through. So when I found out about the Phoenix Center, and it was grief support for kiddos and age appropriate, they were both in different groups. So his was the middles and his was the littles, and the curriculum was very much geared to be age specific. That helplessness of, I can't explain it, there's so many things in life that you just can't deal with. And again, I'm trying to keep it together because it was an experience that we all had. The fact that they wanted to go, they enjoyed it, and they weren't alone in what they were experiencing, that helplessness was minimized. The fact that it's okay that we talk about Daddy Brian all the time. It's okay that we're sad sometimes and happy sometimes. They learned all those things, not from me saying them over and over and over, but from relating content that is age appropriate. Kids go to school and they learn math at an age appropriate level. They go to Sunday school and they learn about their faith in an age appropriate manner. How to deal with their grief in something that's completely off the charts in an age appropriate level is just, it was sent from above. I mean, I just cannot put into words how they helped, because there was just skills I didn't have. I could have read books till my head popped off, but I can't be a 10-year-old. I can't be a 5-year-old. My questions are different. My sadness is different. My feelings are different. And the fact that they had an outlet, and, sometimes kids don't want to go where they don't want to go. But I never had any fluff and puff about the Phoenix Center. Hey, it's okay.
The people were nice, the staff were helpful, and if you didn't feel like sharing, they didn't try to make you want to, didn't try to push you to say something if you didn't want to. Everybody respected your decision to pass or say something.
We had a little chart that was stuff about what we should do in the Phoenix Center and what it's all about.
It felt a little bit better because I know that their kids are my age or a little bit older, and they've went through the same thing that I've had to go through.